2 years. That's how long we were together. In the beginning, he was completely present. He'd text me throughout the day, not just hey or what's up, but actual conversations, asking about my meetings, my morning, how I slept. He planned dates, real ones, where he'd picked the restaurant or looked up a new place he thought I'd like. He asked questions about my life, about my family, about things I cared about. And he'd remember the details when I brought them up again later. 6 months in, I started noticing small changes, though I didn't call them changes at the time. The texts got shorter. Instead of full responses, I'd get K or cool or sometimes just an emoji. When I'd suggest doing something, he'd say, "Let's just hang at my place," instead of actually going anywhere. I told myself this was normal, that he was getting comfortable, that we were past the honeymoon phase, and this is just what relationships look like when they mature. I'd seen this in other couples. The initial intensity fades, things settle into routine, people relax. That's what I thought was happening. He wasn't being distant, he was being comfortable. He wasn't putting in less effort, he was just being himself now that we were secure. Every relationship goes through this, I kept telling myself. This is what it means to be past the beginning stages. This is what real, lasting relationships look like. I started doing everything. All the emotional labor fell to me, though I didn't realize I'd picked it up until I was already carrying it. I planned every single date. I'd spend time looking up restaurants, checking movie times, thinking about what we could do that he might enjoy. I was the one who checked in on him. How was work? How was he feeling? Was he stressed about that project? Did he sleep okay? I asked about his day with genuine interest, about his frustrations, about what was bothering him. He'd respond with fine, or same as always, or just I'm good, followed by complete silence. When I needed support, when something was hard for me or I was going through something difficult, I'd get, that sucks, and then he'd change the subject or start talking about something completely unrelated. The first time he forgot about plans we'd made for my birthday, he blamed it on work stress. He'd had an unexpected deadline, his boss was demanding, he was overwhelmed. I understood. Work can be intense. Things come up, it wasn't intentional. The second year, he didn't even mention my birthday until I brought it up myself, and even then his response was casual, like it was just another day that had slipped his mind. I started making excuses for him when my friends would ask about him. When they'd invite us both to something, I'd already be calculating whether to even mention it to him because I knew how it would go. He'd say yes initially, seem interested, and then the day would come and he'd cancel. Something came up. He was tired. Work thing. Friends needed him. There was always a reason, always something more important or more urgent or more necessary than what we'd planned together. But his Sunday football with the guys never got canceled. Never. It didn't matter if he was tired, if he'd had a long week, if he wasn't feeling well. Sunday with the guys was sacred, untouchable, always happening. Basketball on Tuesday and Thursday nights, same thing. He never missed a game, never needed to reschedule, never had something more important come up. But our plans, the dinner reservations I'd made, the movie I'd bought tickets for, the day trip I'd suggested, those were always negotiable, always flexible, always something that could be moved or forgotten or just not happen. I'd see him active on Instagram, while my text sat unread for hours. He'd be liking posts, commenting on his friends' pictures, replying to their stories, fully engaged with his phone and clearly available. But my message asking if he wanted to grab dinner or if he was free this weekend would just sit there, unopened, ignored. And then when he finally did respond, it would be something brief and non-committal, like he'd just remembered I existed and was checking a box. There was this one time my mom had asked me to lunch. She'd planned it 2 weeks in advance, called me excited about this new place she wanted to try, specifically picked a Sunday because she knew that was usually my free day. I'd confirmed with her, told her I was looking forward to it, and she'd already made the reservation. But then the Saturday before, he mentioned he might be free on Sunday. Might. Maybe. He wasn't sure yet, but possibly. So I called my mom and canceled. Made up something about not feeling well, about needing to rest. She got quiet for a moment, then said it was fine, she understood, we could do it another time. I heard the disappointment even though she tried to hide it. Sunday morning, he texted, going to a barbecue at his friend's place. The guys had planned it last minute and he couldn't miss it. I stayed home, thought about calling my mom back, telling her I was actually feeling better, asking if we could still do lunch. I didn't. I just sat there, aware of the choice I'd made and what it had cost, but still somehow unable to fully name what was wrong with it. By the 3rd month of this pattern, I stopped making plans that involved other people until I'd confirmed he was actually free and actually coming. After 6 months, I stopped accepting things on weekends until Thursday, just to make sure I'd know his schedule first. A year into this dynamic, my calendar was basically empty except for work obligations. I was waiting, always waiting, keeping my schedule open for time that almost never materialized, for plans that usually changed, for a relationship that felt more like a possibility than an actual presence in my life. I felt crazy for caring about this. When I'd think about bringing it up, I'd hear how it would sound, complaining that he didn't text enough, that he forgot plans, that he prioritized his friends. It sounded needy. It sounded like I was asking for too much, like I was the problem for wanting basic consistency and follow-through. Everyone's busy, I'd tell myself. Everyone has their own life. I shouldn't need constant attention. I shouldn't need him to prove he cared every single day. But then I'd see him with his friends, fully present and engaged, making time, showing up, remembering details about their lives, and I'd think, is it really too much to want that same presence? Is it actually unreasonable to expect someone to remember plans we made, to respond to texts within a few hours, to check in occasionally without me always being the one to initiate? I'd go back and forth between these two places. Maybe I'm asking too much. Maybe I'm not asking for enough. Maybe this is normal. Maybe this isn't okay. Maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe I'm finally seeing clearly. I started noticing I'd smile and say everything was fine when friends asked how things were going, but then I'd feel this heaviness in my chest, this weight I couldn't quite name. I'd answer his texts on autopilot, already knowing what he'd say before he said it, already anticipating the minimal response or the subject change or the sounds good that meant nothing would actually happen. Our conversations felt empty, going through motions neither of us was really invested in, filling space without actually connecting. There were moments I'd almost say something, almost tell him how I was feeling, how exhausting it was to do all the work, how lonely I felt even though I was technically in a relationship. The words would be right there, ready, and then I'd stop myself. What was the point? What would change? He'd probably say he didn't realize, that he'd try harder, and then nothing would actually be different. Or worse, he'd make me feel like I was overreacting, like I was the one creating problems where there weren't any. There was this one Saturday that changed everything, though it didn't feel dramatic at the time. I'd planned a whole day for us, not anything elaborate or expensive, just a farmer's market in the morning, lunch at this taco place he'd mentioned wanting to try, maybe a walk after if the weather was nice. I'd mentioned it all week. Monday. Saturday should be nice, want to do something? Wednesday. Still good for Saturday? Friday night. Looking forward to tomorrow. That Saturday morning, my phone buzzed. The guys want to do a brewery thing, rain check? Not even a question mark, just a statement, a decision already made. And something in me just stopped. Not broke. I didn't feel shattered or devastated or even particularly hurt. It just stopped, like a mechanism that had been running finally clicked off, went quiet, settled into stillness. I wasn't angry. I wasn't surprised. I was just done. Done being the person who understood, who made excuses, who adjusted and accommodated and waited. Done pretending this pattern would change, that next time would be different, that if I just explained it better or needed less or asked more clearly, things would shift. Looking back now, I can see I'd been carrying that relationship alone for over a year. Every plan, every conversation, every moment of connection, it only existed because I created it, maintained it, kept it going. He was just there, passively receiving whatever I offered, showing up when it was convenient, disappearing when something better came along. I'd mistaken his physical presence for emotional investment, his occasional responses for actual engagement. I had shrunk my life to fit his availability. Canceled on people who cared about me to stay available for someone who treated my time as optional. Made myself smaller and smaller, needed less and less, asked for almost nothing, and still somehow it was too much. Still somehow I was the demanding one, the needy one, the one expecting too much. But wanting someone to show up isn't too much. Wanting basic consistency and respect and follow-through isn't unreasonable. It's the absolute minimum. That Saturday, I didn't respond to his text. I got dressed, went to the farmer's market alone, had lunch at the taco place by myself. And it was fine. Better than fine. I didn't spend the whole time checking my phone, wondering if he'd change his mind, hoping he'd show up. I was just there, present, enjoying the day I'd planned, and I realized I'd been so focused on keeping the relationship alive that I'd forgotten I was allowed to just live. If you felt that exhaustion of carrying a relationship alone, of being the only one trying, you're not the problem for wanting basic effort and consistency. Many have shared their own moments of finally stopping in the comments. Sometimes recognition itself is the relief. If this space feels familiar, you're welcome here.